People are always going to say something negative when they have nothing to run on. So the first thing they'll do is they'll jump to whatever bad thing they think they can find to say, hey, I'm not the person you should vote for. I would tell you, get to know me. Have a conversation with me. I would even encourage you, listen to what they say, and then come back and ask me about it.
Welcome to the podcast from Doug Ground Up Productions with hosts Lady Miz and Ray. This is a universal platform, and there is nothing off limits. We talk about it all, and we keep it real. This is a no judgment zone, so come as you are. If you are a professional, entertainer, author, comedian, entrepreneur, or just someone who wants to get something off their chest, well, let your voice be heard here on From the Ground Up Productions. Sponsorship and other opportunities are available from the Ground Up Productions. Turning nothing into something. There's only one way to go from here. And now, here are your hosts, Lady Miz and Ray.
What's going on, people? I am your host, Lady Miz, and you're tuned in to From the Ground Up, and there's only one way to go from here. Today, I am sitting down with my husband, y'all. Yes, he is stepping into public service, and he is running for town council in the town of Wallkill. Let's welcome the one and only Ray Merriman to the show. Hey.
It feels weird sitting on this side of it.
It does? I was going to ask you, how does it feel? You know, I know you're the co-host on the show, but I was like, now I get to interview you, which is great, you know. So we have a lot to talk about today. All right? Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Before we get started, I want you to tell the people out there who you are beyond politics and beyond social media. Tell people a little bit about yourself.
Well, first, I'm a husband, a father, 3 kids, Navy veteran. The stuff that I'm most proud of.
Okay, all right. So talk to me about what it's like being a Navy veteran.
I think it's no different than when I was in the Navy without the work, because I still have to be, responsible. Mm-hmm. You gotta still. For the most part, it still comes with sacrifice, because you learn in the military. When you look at successful dads with their kids, they understand that sacrifice, that you have to put yourself aside for your family. Mm-hmm. Not all the time, but for the most part, Okay.
So what does that mean to you, though, being a veteran?
Well, that was before my family, it was probably the most important step in life that I took. It changed my life coming from the Bronx. It was, I worked for a little, I had jobs, but I didn't have consistent work. Okay. The Navy gave me consistent work. That was a job I know if I came to work every day, I didn't have to worry about getting fired.
Okay. Well, look, some people can get kicked out of the military, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, as a Navy veteran, what would you say what was the biggest takeaway that you learned as being a veteran?
Well, the Navy taught me the first thing is how to work as a team. No matter whatever you're feeling, what you're going through, the ultimate task at hand was to get to the goal and work together with whoever you're with. It was responsibility. It was sacrifice. It was dedication. Courage. You had the courage. Sometimes you have to do things, even if you're scared to do it. It's like, you know what? I have to put that aside to make sure it gets done. It was also more times than others thinking about more than yourself. You can't. You're not. This is not a power trip. This is about how do we all come home.
Okay. All right. So would you say it was hard work being in the military with the job that you had to do? And tell us what that job was.
Hard work. In the beginning, yeah, it's hard work in the beginning. But that's what you train for. You train every day so that the job becomes easier. You know, the more you train and you take your training serious, the easier the job gets.
Okay. All right. So what made you want to run for town council here in the town of Wallkill?
Initially, it was something I always wanted to do. I had put it aside. It was like, I don't know if I'm prepared to do it. But it started with a pothole in front of our house and then a knock at the door. And this guy consistently showed up, talked to me. You know, Ralph, his name, you know Ralph.
Yes.
Ralph consistently showed up the door. One day he was like, hey, why don't you get involved? He's like, we need new people that who are willing to get out here and do the work. And I started showing up to the meetings and met a couple of people, and it went from there. And when I was asked, hey, would you take a run for Town of Wallkill Ward 2? Like, why wouldn't I? You know, I want to get involved. The only way to get involved is being a part of it, saying stuff, standing up for when you want something done. Because a lot of times getting something done from the sidelines is hard work. Okay. It's not going to get done all the time.
All right. Now let's get into the juicy part of this conversation, because I know you guys are all waiting for it. You are running under the Conservative and the Republican Party. You used to be a Democrat, right?
Yeah.
Tell me what shift your views on why you decided to run and change parties.
Okay. First, I'm going to say I'm honored to even be accepted by the Conservative Party and the Republican Committee to have me come in there, knowing that I was at one point a Democrat, but I realized being a Democrat, I was voting against my own ideals. You know, so a lot of times, and I'm gonna speak honestly because I know black people are looking at us and go, "Oh, you're Republican, you selling out." But for the most part, I'm looking at it. What was Democrats doing for black people? Black people are still in the same spot, voting religiously for Democrats that don't help them. And it's not just I'm speaking for me as a black man who came from the Bronx. The way we were raised is you're gonna vote Democrat, and if you were shamed upon if you didn't, you know. And I'm like, that's a lot of the things that I believe in my ideals are Republican ideas, Republican things, and for the most part, a lot of black people do. They just I'm not going to use the word brainwash, but we've been taught that that's what it should be. And if you do anything other than that, you're not black.
I remember president once said that on the Breakfast Club. But whatever. That's a whole other story.
I'm not ashamed to say I'm Republican, and why would I be?
Right.
Right.
So, tell me what your experience is like changing from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party, and what that experience have been like. Has it been welcoming, or have you been running into what the stereotypes say about Republicans?
No, coming into it, I've been a Republican for well over a year, probably more than about 2 years. I've been voting Republican, so it's not new for me. It's new that I'm actually doing politics.
Okay.
This is the first time I'm actually stepping into it from the voter side to the candidate side.
Okay.
So that's where it's new for me there. And the experience has been welcoming. It's been, going around meeting people. People were glad to see me. It's open. I haven't had a bad experience at all.
Okay. All right. Would you say that anything that you would want to point out that you have learned so far running under the Conservative and Republican ticket here? What would you say that you learned, if you took away anything from that?
Yeah, we have always talked about on our show that local politics mean a lot. It's more. It's actually the politics that'll affect you immediately compared to state and federal voting. So what I've learned here that it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat, Republican, Independent, because what happens is everybody knows we all want the same thing, and people are willing to work together to get that. And that's what I've learned is more important than anything. Is local politics start right here, right now, and you actually get to see the person you're voting for on a regular basis. They're not, the people who live at the state level, the politicians on the state level, they could, for the most part, because their voting party is so big, you probably will never run into them. But on the local level, you're going to see me in the supermarket. You might see me at the park.
Right.
You get to say to me, hey, I like what you did. Oh, or maybe I disagree with what you said. And that makes it important because there now is more of a connection with the person you're voting for.
Okay. All right. What would you say your main focus is going to be if you was to get into office? What are the things that you're looking to help or looking to change or make better for the town of Wallkill?
First thing is what's always important in any local town is safety. Making sure we have first responders are always taken care of. We making sure that we're making sure that they have what they need to do their job properly to help the town of Wallkill. Make sure the town of Wallkill is safe. The fire department is taken care of. The emergency EMS, they have what they need to make sure that they save lives. That's important to me. Youth, we got youth programs. We need to support youth programs so that our kids have something more to do than going into the mall. We focus on making sure our youth, when they grow up and want to stay in the town of Wallkill, not run off because they think there's something more out than what they've grown up with, And for me, being a veteran, the most important thing is being a veteran and mental health, and not only for veterans, but mental health as a whole, because people don't understand a lot of safety starts with making sure that mental health is taken care of, and that's an important role for me. And another thing is what's important is that the community knows that the person they elected is there for them and not on a power trip to say, you know what, now that I'm here, forget you. I want to be able to say, you know what, I'm a phone call away if you need me. If you have a question, if there's something not being answered, you voted me in to get those answers for you.
Nice. I think that is very important.
So, and when it comes to safety in the town of Wallkill, it's important for our police officers and to get to know who their community is. And a lot of times, the only fix, what we learn now, or what we hear, is that the way to fix the safety in America, or the only way to fix safety in the town of Wallkill is to lay off cops. Laying off cops does not fix safety. It actually it doesn't make you any safer because less cops means more crime. So what we can do is keep the police officers, but have programs where the police officers actually get to meet and talk to the community on a regular basis. Get to know the kids that that live in the neighborhoods that they patrol. Because when the police officers know the kids and the kids know the police officers and the parents know who the police officer is, your kids are less likely to be in anything, and crime is literally going to go down when we have everybody knowing everybody. And I know that's effective because it actually worked in New York City in the early 90s, the late 90s, when crime was on the rise. It was police walking and patrolling the neighborhoods, knowing. I mean, now I'm not saying because up here in the town of Wallkill, walking is a lot. And also with police officers, you have people in office right now that's saying we need to cut the police officers so we can save the town money. But that doesn't help. You're taking away the safety of the town when you cut off police. And how do you get police get to the youth and know who the community is if they're not there?
Right. Okay. Let's get into this short commercial break.
Hello, my name is Jill Wilkins, and I am running for the position of supervisor of the Town of Wallkill. I have lived in Wallkill for over 33 years. I've run a small business of 27 years and currently running a nonprofit 501c3. And I want to introduce myself and to give you the top priorities that I will be focusing on when I get into office. The first one would be strong financial management, and to ensure that our current financial records are up to date and that we're part of a long strategic plan to protect our tax dollars. The second priority would be supporting our first responders, our firemen, our police officers, our EMS workers. They are the heroes of our town and they need our support. And I want to make sure they have the resources and the tools that they need to keep us safe. The third priority would be our natural resources. But last but not least is our economic growth, smart economic growth, and to strengthen our relationship with Steve Newhouse. And I can guarantee you that when I get office, I'll be a full-time supervisor from day one. I ask you for your support. It would be my sincere honor to represent you as the town supervisor of Wallkill. Thank you.
What would you say to voters that was undecided and didn't know if they actually wanted to choose you for Ward 2 of the Town of Wallkill? What would you say to them to get them to vote for you so that they can understand that making that choice is a good one?
I would first say, get to know me, because you're going to hear things, people are always going to say something negative when they have nothing to run on. So the first thing they'll do is they'll jump to whatever bad thing they think they could find to say, hey, I'm not the person you should vote for. I would tell you, get to know me. Have a conversation with me. I would even encourage you, listen to what they say, and then come back and ask me about it. Come and ask me. I'm open to it. Ask me whatever question you have. I'm okay with explaining my past. I've made mistakes, as we all have, but I've grown. I'm a way different person than I was when I was 20. I'm a way different person than I was 5 years ago. But have a conversation with me. I'm accountable. I'm gonna hold myself accountable, and my most important thing is having you understand who you voted for. My goal is to make sure you know that your vote actually counted, because I'm gonna be there for this community, committed to this community.
By doing what?
What I'm gonna do is make sure what I was elected to do. Make sure our town is safe. Make sure that what I believe is our youth have something to do. We have programs for our kids out here to do, and make sure that they understand that you elected me here, and I'm gonna do the job you asked me to do every day.
So there might be some people out there that might say, hey, we haven't seen this guy around really like that. We don't really know who he is. He's a new face to us, for those who don't know you. What would you say to people like that?
Well, I might be new to politics in this area, but I'm not new to community service. Like I said, I'm a veteran. I understand what being a part of helping the community and sacrificing for the community. I'm just stepping into politics now. And as I said earlier, when I decided to do this, I was sitting on the sideline, and we could complain about things not getting done. And I decided, you know what, I'm not going to complain no more. I'm going to step into it. And that was when I made the decision to say, you know what, I'm going to make the difference from the political side. I'm no politician. I'm not going to pretend to be. But I am a neighbor of yours. I am somebody you could, like I said, locally, you could speak to me. You could have a conversation with. And that's what's important to me now. It's politics have gotten out of where they're no longer thinking about the person that voted them in. It's about power and who's going to be in charge, and this blaming this one and that one. And we got to get out of that. We got to understand that doesn't matter what side you are, right here in the town of Wallkill, we got to work together, and we got to get what's best for the town without the egos.
Couple of questions, and then we're going to wrap it up. How long have you lived in the town of Wallkill?
I've been here 21 years.
21 years.
And I would started 21 years. I meant you.
Hey.
Yeah, I never left.
Okay, look at the effect I have on the town of Wallkill. They don't want to leave. Okay, so my next question to you, before I get to the last question, is how do you bridge the gap between the Democrats and the Republicans? How do you bridge the gap between the two parties?
Is it really a gap when it's local? When it's local, everybody understands the goal is for the community to thrive. Now, you'll have people to tell you that it's separated and the Democrats, we all want the same thing. And working together and working with the Democrats saying, hey, just because I'm Republican don't mean I can't give you what you're looking for either. You know, and that's the narrative that puts out there. When you look at the state level and the federal government, that's been taught to the political parties that nobody wants to negotiate. Right here, locally, that's important. Negotiation is important. It's important to saying I'm putting all political stuff aside. It doesn't matter that I'm a Republican. I got the same issues you having. My taxes go up. Your taxes go up. We both, they're not looking at and going, we're going to only raise the Democrats' taxes. Nah, they looking at a whole town of Wallkill going, everybody's taxes going up.
Right.
You know, and that's where we got to start. That's where I'm trying to bridge the gap so that we understand this is not about politics. This is about what side of the party it's on. It's about we all have the same issues. And it's about time somebody in there recognizes that that's going to happen, that we have that. There are some there, and there are some that don't. But the problem is we need everybody on that same page.
How do you work with people who may not like you? Have you ever been in that position before?
Many times. The idea of is come there, do your job. We don't have to like each other. We don't even have to get along. Do our job. And we learned that in the Navy. I was on a ship with 350 guys. We didn't have to like each other every day. There were going to be some days we didn't get along, but we understood the goal. We understood that some things you getting along is not a part of the job. The part of the job is making sure everybody get home. Making sure we bring that multi-billion dollar ship home at the end of 6 months, you know?
Okay. All right. Well, listen, I really enjoyed having this conversation with you. Before we wrap it up, look into the camera and tell the people, the Democrats, the Republicans, the conservatives, the liberals, tell everybody, the people of the town of Wallkill, why they should be voting for you come November 3rd, 2026.
The reason you should vote for me, like I said, I believe that we have to protect our youth. We have to protect our town. And I'm committed to making sure that first responders are always taken care of. I'm committed to making sure there are youth programs that support and uplift our youth. And I'm also, most important is you elected me to be here. I'm going to do the job that you asked me to do. What I want you to understand is I'm open. I'm approachable. If you see me in the supermarket, bad or good, you can approach me and say, hey, this is what I do not like. This is what I like. And I will listen to you. And that's what we need. We need people who listen. And on a local level, that's important. And that's what I'm going to bring to the table. Hard work, dedication, responsibility, sacrifice. I'm going to bring all of that with me, what the Navy taught me. What comes first is what your goal is, the community. And that's what I'm running for, the community. Let's bring this community. We bringing this community together. Republican, Democrat, Independent, we all on the same, all have the same issues right here in the town of Wallkill. And most important is I'm here to listen. And listening requires me to act on what I hear, what the constituents tell me that they voted me in there for. And that's my goal, to be there for you. although I'm getting into this on a political level, I am a husband, I'm a father, I'm a Navy veteran, and I'm your neighbor. I live in this community just like you. Okay. What I'm asking for is your vote. Give me an opportunity to show you what I can do for this town of Wallkill. I've already shown this country what I'm willing to sacrifice. Give me the opportunity to do it for the town of Wallkill.
All right. Well, listen, Ray, I really enjoyed interviewing my husband today on From the Ground Up podcast. I wish you the best. I believe in you. I think you got this. Shout out to everybody on all across the board, both sides. Like you said, we are a community here in the town of Wallkill, and all that we're trying to do is be a part of making it great and making it better and just uplifting, just bringing it back to community, right? Not just all neighborhoods, but a community, because that is what is strong, and that's what's strong for us here in the town. Getting involved. If you're here, get involved. It doesn't matter what party that you serve. Get involved. Ray, I'm so proud that you are getting involved and doing what you have to do, and you inspire me to do the same thing. And I just want to let everybody know that we're wrapping it up now. If you have any questions or anything for Ray, I'm sure you can contact him. Why don't you go give your social medias?
You can reach me on Facebook and Instagram, Ray Merriman for Town Council Ward 2. You could actually ask me questions there. All my information is there. My telephone number is there. We could have a conversation.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap this up. And this is another episode of From the Ground Up Productions. There's only one way to go from here. This is where we have real conversations, honest opinions, in the whole 9 yards. We appreciate y'all. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
We hope you enjoyed your time with From the Ground Up Productions. We'll see you next time. Be sure to add our channel and listen to us on all streaming platforms. From the ground up. From the ground up. There's only one way to go from here.